Welcome inside the Coliseum that is the Sudbury Community Arena for a clash between the Titans, the KW Titans, and the Sudbury Five. The Sudbury Five and KW Titans have played 3 times this season already, and 3 times in Kitchener-Waterloo, and no times here. This is the first meeting between the 2 teams this season. Nick Liard, Alex Gunn once again. Hopefully you and yours had an awesome holiday break. Spend some time with the family, and the newest addition, because basketball is such a family atmosphere, the newest addition to the National Basketball League of Canada, the Sudbury Five. They've really come together in their first season as a family, 8-6.
Yeah, absolutely, and the home crowd's really given them a lift too, because their record on the road compared to at home, it's been a bit difficult on the road for us, but the crowd's really been bringing it together to help them out at home here.
So the Sudbury Five, they've been off since last Sunday, and they played the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans that last Sunday, the first loss of the meeting of the 3 contests this season between the 2 teams. And the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans defeated the Sudbury Five 123-113. What did you see from that game?
They played an all-around game. I mean, Kitchener-Waterloo, they had 8 players score 12 or more points, and on Sudbury's end, they came through as well. We had 6 players scoring 13 or more. We kind of want to see the same effort tonight, though, from the Sudbury Five. Keep working the ball around, and it should work out well for us.
So we're going to take you down to court level for the singing of the national anthems. A great crowd on hand here tonight. Sudbury Saturday nights, the KW Titans versus the Sudbury Five. Starting lineups for the KW Titans: Ashton Smith, Akeem Ellis, Ed Horton, Tremere Sutherland, and Derek Hall on the other side. Starting lineups for your hometown Sudbury Five: Braylon Rayson, Adam Blazek, Corey Dixon, Travis Relaford, and Johanny D'Alembert. So we had mentioned it just before the singing of the national anthems that the Sudbury Five, all of their starters were in double figures. However, they didn't get much bench support. So the KW bench outscored the 5 bench 60-23 in that game, including a couple players with 17 points off the bench for the Titans. The 5 only had 1 player coming off the bench scoring in double figures.
Yeah, and for the 5 as well, they weren't necessarily getting the rebounds and the assists that they have been getting in previous games. So we want to see them keep working the ball around today and taking the shots that they usually do hit, and it should just work out well for us.
And the 3 players, there were 3 players for KW that had 17 points. Akeem Ellis, Justin Strings, and Greg Monroe. 2 of those players did come off the bench. The KW Titans are one of the newer teams in the National Basketball League of Canada starting in 2016. They've never had a winning season. They are 5-5 so far on the season. The Sudbury 5, 8-6. Still the most amount of games played is on the Sudbury 5 side. They've played 14 games to KW Titans just 10.
It makes a big difference too. The more games you play in a season, the more tired you get, the less practice time you have because you have such a condensed schedule. But it's Sudbury 5, you know, we're still leading our division. We're in first place in that, and they've really made the best of the opportunities they've had.
So Adam Blazek, number 3 of the Sudbury 5, he gets the start tonight, is a former member of the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans, played 40 games over 2 seasons, scoring 582 points. That's an average of 14.6 points a game. I made a couple playoff appearances as well for the KW Titans. They are led by Canville Johnson. Similar path, the head coach of the KW Titans, similar path to where he is right now as head coach Logan Stutz of the Sudbury 5. Played 6 seasons in the National Basketball League of Canada, the last 2 for Kitchener-Waterloo, and then took over as head coach. So kind of 2 former players taking similar paths to get to where they are, leading their teams. The first full season for Canville Johnson, and the first season obviously for Logan Stutz in the first inaugural season of the Sudbury 5. So Yohani D'Alembert, he gets the start at center for the Sudbury 5. What can he inject into this starting lineup? Hasn't been getting a whole lot of minutes, but as you know, it's gradually increasing.
I like the start. He's going against a very tall competitor in Hull, and D'Alembert just brings so much energy to the game, so I'm really confident with what he's going to be able to do out there tonight.
Number 33, Derek Hall, listed as 7 feet tall, going up against Yohani D'Alembert, 6'8", and Hall wins the tip easily. Hall is averaging 13.7 points a game and 8 rebounds on the season. The Sudbury 5 of one of the top Canadians in the league. We'll touch more on him as the game goes along. Braylon Rayson grabs the first rebound, and we're underway in Greater Sudbury. Rayson up top gets it to Travis Relaford, number 24. Relaford averaging 16 points a game on the season. Adam Blazek, that's why you put him in that starting lineup of 5-4-3 for number 3.
I love what Blazek's been doing this season so far for us. He seems so consistent out there with his shot.
Smith gets it out to Ellis. He jacks up a 3, knocks it down. Braylon Rayson coming over half, gets it to Corey Dixon. Only 1 scratch for the Sudbury 5 here tonight. That's Dexter Williams Jr. He's not playing for the 5. Everyone else is dressed. Relaford going to work underneath, cleans up his own mess.
I don't know how Relaford was able to get that shot up there. He had three defenders with their arms all over him.
It's garbage collection day for Travis Relaford as he was able to pick it up and put it to the curb. Hall with the turnaround fade, and that's going to go off a Sudbury 5 player, Corey Dixon, out of bounds.
D'Alembert really did a great job there. With Hall being 7 feet tall, you can't let him get to his spots because it's going to be too easy for him to just do a turnaround or a drop step. So he did a great job forcing him out.
Ellis, the up fake, goes between his legs, step back long 2, no good. D'Alembert with the rebound. Blazek has Corey Dixon, speaking of establishing position. Dixon running the floor, gets it over to Relaford. The short 2, that one's no good. D'Alembert beats Hall to the spot, gets the rebound out to Blazek. A fresh shot clock out to Braylon Rayson. He launches it big time. Braylon Rayson.
Woo, Relaford with the great steal.
Relaford gets the steal, misses his shot. Blazek able to clean it up and put it in.
I think Relaford wanted a foul on that one, but I think he's probably okay with it now that Blazek got the putback for him.
Smith driving. He's going to put it up with the right hand. Nice move there from the 29-year-old from Scarborough. Rayson gets it to Corey Dixon. A little bounce pass to Blazek. Trying to find Relaford once again. And we're going to have a foul called there.
Yeah, Relaford was just trying to seal him there, and the KW Titan player was just leaning right over top of him.
So the ball will go out of bounds underneath the KW Titans net. And it's stolen. Smith to the cup. Off the steal, the Titans capitalize.
We just got to clean it up a bit out there.
On both sides, Blazek. A nice little jumper there for number 3. He's come to play against his former team. Always got to watch out for players playing against their former teams. And Blazek, 2 seasons with the Titans.
Yeah, players, they don't want to admit it too often, but they do always play that extra 10% harder when they're playing a former team they played for.
And Braylon Rayson, the crossover, has Sutherland on him, steps back, and can't get that one to fall. Hall with the rebound, the outlet to Horton. Horton, left hand, nice take there, strong to the basket from Ed Horton. It is now 12-12. And the backdoor cut, Blazek trying to find it, can't get the pass in, nice defense, Sutherland. Going into the defense, gets it out to Ellis, back to Sutherland, he's gonna shoot a 3. That one off, Dallenberg another rebound. Careless play there by Relaford as he had Horton on him and didn't see him. An easy steal there by Ed Horton. Ellis has the ball up top. And we're gonna have an off-ball foul there called on Travis Relaford. And the first sub of the game is going to be Devin Gilligan coming in for Yohanni Dallenberg. And so he'll have the matchup likely, or Corey Dixon might switch over to Derek Hall, the 7-footer.
I'd like to see Relaford get it going there. He's the last minute he's missed. He's had a turnover, had another turnover, and missed a shot. So
Adam Blazek saves it. The most dangerous place to save it, right underneath your own net. Had a couple players already turning up court. And so the turnover and another basket off the turnover for the KW Titans. It's 14-12 for Kitchener-Waterloo. The fade back shot in the key from Relaford, no good. Ellis drops it off to Smith. Dangerous backcourt for the Titans. And Ellis trying to go to work on Braylon Rayson, can't. It's going to go off of the Titans, out of bounds. Gilligan trying to dribble through 2, has it knocked out of bounds. And Grandy Glaze coming in. An impressive season for number 22, Grandy Glaze. 15 points per game on the season to go along with 12.4 rebounds, which leads the league.
Yeah, he's been so impressive tonight. And even with Hall being 7 feet tall, I think with Glaze's athleticism and speed, I think he's going to give him a really hard time out here.
Smith, he's going to take it up the court after the turnover by the Sudbury 5. Smith with the shot, well off, hits all backboard. And Glaze with the nice box out. That's what you got to do. Eliminate the rebounding ability of Hall. And a nice drop off pass. Relaford, an easy deuce. When you have a guy like Hall, a 7-footer, and no one near that size on the Sudbury 5, you have no choice to play small ball, but it does come to their advantage because anyone who's Hall is guarding has the ability to go by him. So you kind of want maybe a 3-point shooter on there, maybe Gilligan if you get matched up, Gilligan or Dixon who can stretch the floor, and you have Hall on him, then you got an opportunity to, one, get him out of the paint for someone else driving, and 2, take your own drive as well.
Yeah, and these are things the team, they do pretty well. Like even Blazek, for example, driving on that play, drawing in Hall as the defender to leave his man wide open for the layup. They're things that high basketball IQ players, they do constantly. And luckily for us, we got Blazak doing that.
Devin Gilligan chooses the other side of the rim to go. Drives baseline. Nice move there by Gilligan, coming off the bench with a deuce. A long shot there from Kitchener-Waterloo, goes off the front iron and out. And we're going to have a foul on the fast break coming to Kitchener-Waterloo. 16-14 in favor of the Sudbury 5. And we're going to have a TV timeout. So I don't know if you noticed before the game, I got a couple new bow ties.
I actually did. It looks really well, and I like how it matches your square there you got.
I found out this was called a what is it called?
Pocket square, I believe.
Pocket square? Yeah. I had no idea. I've never owned one before. So I think it looks good.
It looks great. I love the colors. They go perfect together. I'm going to have to pick myself up one, though, now.
Yeah.
Got to look good like you.
So I only had a couple bow ties. I asked for a couple for Christmas, got them. So I'm going to be rolling them out, and it's going to be a wonderful experience. You're not going to want to miss it.
Well, I'm excited for our future endeavors.
So the Sudbury 5, they are also in town tomorrow. They'll play a home game against, once again, the London Lightning. It seems like it's, London or Kitchener that they have been playing in the first half of the season. But this is the first matchup this season that Kitchener has come to Sudbury. On the other side, London's been here a couple times, splitting the two games that they have played in Sudbury. And I mean, big divisional battles, right? You got Sudbury at the top of that division with St. John's Edge right below them. But then Kitchener, Waterloo, and London, they're tied with 10 points each. And I mean, they want that top spot just as bad as anyone else in the division.
Yeah, they really do. And with, as we've mentioned before, how good all these players are. You can't, we may have a better record and we may be leading the division, but we cannot take these teams lightly. They have excellent players and they give it 110% every time.
The first meeting of the season was the Sudbury 5 inaugural game in Kitchener-Waterloo, a 115-112 win for the 5. Game 2 was on the December 13th, a 5-win, 122-114. And then last Sunday, in Kitchener-Waterloo is a 124-113 victory for the Titans. And so the 5 start this off with the ball after the timeout. Jalen Bland is in. He's been spending the last couple games off the bench for the Sudbury 5 after missing a few with the ankle injury.
It's good play there by Glaze. He picked up the easy foul just by standing his ground when setting the screen.
Braylon Rayson will inbound as the 5 will set up. And Joel Friesen comes in. Joel Friesen, an interesting player. We'll touch on him when we get the opportunity. Adam Blazek with a nice curl there. Rayson had an opportunity to send it into him, but he slows it down a little bit. 6 on the shot clock. Have to hurry up a little bit. Nice pass out by Grandy Glaze. Good look from Devin Gilligan.
Yeah, Gilligan's been playing really well too, so I have no problem with him taking that shot. A bit early in the shot clock, but it was still a good shot to take.
Hall had position, gets it out to Hall, the big 7-footer taking the shot, drops it in down low, and Smith is in there. And we're gonna have a foul called on Devin Gilligan. So good job on Grandy Glaze so far against the 7-footer. Hasn't allowed him deep post position where he can just kind of turn and put him up over top of Grandy Glaze. He's had to work for any shot that he's gotten off and was forced actually out there to the 3-point line.
Hall was a bit impressive on that though. Even though the play didn't work out, Glaze did what he was supposed to do by keeping him out of the paint, but he displayed a nice little bounce pass there. That's pretty tough for a 7-footer to make.
Hall passing in, that one almost stolen, out to Lynn, the shot, and right in from number 5, Damon Lynn. And so with that shot, the Titans take back the lead. Devin Gilligan with 2 players in the same area. A little bit of congestion. And Blazek trying to cut to the basket to give them a little Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, great
clear
job.
out that congestion.
Great job by Blazek there. I'm not even sure he caught the ball, but the contact that arrived early, so he just threw his hands up to let the ref know.
And another sub coming in for the Titans. It's Justin Strings. And so number 11, Joel Friesen, he's out there. He's a member of the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans now. The last 3 seasons he's won championships in this league. He played for Halifax 3 seasons ago, won a championship, went over to London, championship, and then a back-to-back championship, and now he's here. Good fortunes for the KW Titans, I would have to say.
Well, when's trade season end? He's a player I'd definitely like to look at.
And there he is, Friesen. With the ball, has Braylon Rayson on him, gets it to Hall, out to Friesen, looking for the shot, hasn't put it up, drops it in. Hall has a couple arms on him. Great defense there by the Sudbury 5. The big man brought the ball down and had a tough time. Rayson, the 2, he knocks it down. Ooh. And once again, the 5 aggressive on the inbounds play. You can't be careless, as the Titans have been a couple times just inbounding the ball. Ellis, the up fake, gets Bland on him. Ellis, a nice crossover, puts it up, misses. Jalen Bland is able to come away with the rebound. Braylon Rayson in the corner to Blazek. Puts it up, just misses. Gilligan gets it back to Blazek, another shot. And that one hits back iron.
I don't think Blazek's happy about that one. It's really frustrating as a player when you miss the second one because you're so used to it going in.
And you get that feeling like, oh, maybe the ball's not going to come to me again.
Yeah, you just hope your teammates still trust you out there.
And Braylon Rayson has Jalen Bland with him. And we're going to have a foul, and they're going to count that one.
Strings reaching in there. You got to keep those hands up or down.
And a smart play by Braylon Rayson, as he had the defender's hand, as you mentioned, in his face. Just go up with it. Just take that shot up, and he draws the foul as we get a look at the replay. That one's an earlier 2-point shot by the Sudbury 5's Braylon Rayson.
Even that, a lot of smart players do that, though. You know, their hands reached in where the offensive player knows it's not supposed to be, so they take the shot. Usually it doesn't go in, but when Rayson's that good, it's he's money on that one.
And they've done, in their careers, they've done so many drills in practice where you work on contested shots that a hand, even if you don't get the foul call, you're used to shooting with hands in the face, so you can still get a decent shot up even if you don't get that whistle.
Yeah, for sure. And Rayson did exactly what he was supposed to there, so smart on him.
Devin Gilligan draws the foul. He'll head to the free throw line for 2. 22 points, 23 points up on the board now for the Sudbury 5 already. 3:05 left to go here in the first quarter of action. Devin Gilligan, shot number 2 is knocked down.
With Hall out for KW, I'd like to see the Sudbury 5 kind of work the paint a little bit more right now and take advantage of this opportunity we have.
Friesen, the nice little drop down pass there, as Titer able to get the basket as he's seeing his first action. Braylon Rayson dropping into Grandy Glaze. He goes right at. Nice passing play there. It gets out to Jalen Bland. He's going to put it up. And that's a good sight to see. Jalen Bland getting into it and hitting early.
Yeah, he's been a bit off the past couple games, so it's definitely good to see him get one of those shots up early for us.
And a steal there is coming back to the KW Titans side, and Gilligan using the body, going up with the right hand, using both the body and the rim to guard any shot blocking opportunity. And the Sudbury 5 have increased their lead to 10 points early.
Not having Hall in there for KW makes a big difference, and the players clearly know it because they keep attacking the basket with him out.
Friesen backing down Braylon Rayson. A couple words with him after. He'll go to the free throw line, and they have to be separated. And we're going to have offsetting technical fouls, and the two still exchanging words. Joel Friesen and Braylon Rayson of the Sudbury 5.
I'm not a fan of the double technical. I never understand where one person's the aggressor and they get in the other person's face, why they both get technicals. Because Rayson seemed to just kind of stand his ground there. Like,
it all depends, you know, what was said as well, the words that were used.
That's definitely true.
Could be something that was said, or just, you know, break it up, give them the double technicals that, okay, that way no one gets the advantage in a situation where words are exchanged. But Friesen is at the free throw line because he was fouled before the play started, before the words were exchanged, so he's going to get 2 free throws.
I still think you're being too lenient here for KW, Nick. I don't think Brayson said anything wrong.
I'm trying to be unbiased as best
Brayson
as I
wouldn't
can.
do that, though.
I believe he wouldn't do it. And Logan Stutz is going to avoid any confrontation. He's going to take Rayson out for the time being. Give him a little breather as there's only 1:44 left to go in this first quarter. The Sudbury 5 up 29-19. Again, a very good crowd here in Sudbury on a Sudbury Saturday night. And that first one is missed by Friesen. As we mentioned, he's won the last 3 championships. He's been on teams that have won the last 3 National Basketball League of Canada championships. He's from Abbotsford, BC, and went to the University of Alberta. And Jalen Bland, he's going to shoot it up. Hand in the face, it don't matter.
Beautiful shot there by Bland. He's just so confident with that release. It's almost unguardable.
And a drop-off pass. No good from Greg Morrow, all the way on the runway. Travis Relaford, flight number 24, cleared for takeoff.
I like what Fresno did there, trying to get when he picked up the double technical, trying to get his team more involved, but I think it kind of had a reverse effect for our guys. Our guys are really focused out there now.
And the Sudbury 5, once again, their lead continues to grow. It's 34-20 now. And pretty balanced scoring for the Sudbury 5 so far.
Oh, are we doing anything for the end of quarter?
And both teams going deeper into their bench in this first quarter. All of the roster of the KW Titans has got into the game pretty much. On the other side, they've gone 8, 9 players deep into the bench for the Sudbury 5. It's working as the 5 have come to play in this first quarter. 34 points, 1:16 left to go in the first quarter. In the first quarter of action last Sunday between the 2 teams, Sudbury outscored the Titans, but it was a closer contest in the first quarter. 29-24 again. The Titans came back to win that game 124-113 on the strength of a very good second and fourth quarter.
I find with the fast pace of the game now too, being up 14 is great and all, but in basketball nowadays, there's never really a safe lead.
And the spin in finish, nice pass, nice finish from the KW Titans. A good play there out of a timeout for the Titans. Antoine Chandler now making his debut as the 5 going deeper into the bench. Jalen Bland with the ball. Gets it to Corey Dixon. Corey Dixon sweeps, goes by, up with the right hand. It bounces out, no good. And we're gonna have a jump ball called. As a great job, no quit there from Devin Gilligan as Justin Strings had the rebound, and right there, Devin Gilligan was in his face.
Love seeing that effort from Gilligan too. The defense Strings just turned right into him, and Gilligan saw the opportunity, so he just wrapped his arms around that ball as quick as he could.
And Corey Dixon, he takes it to the rim, gets fouled. He'll head to the free throw line with 32.6 seconds left to go in the first. Corey Dixon on the season really improved. 11.7 points, but 7.3 rebounds as well. He's become one of the more reliable players on the Sudbury 5 team. You're not going to get those big, 35-point outputs from Corey Dixon, but every night he's going to come to play and get you into double digits. He's going to be someone you can count on night after night. Antoine Chandler, who had a great end of the game last weekend in a Sudbury 5 win against the Island Storm.
Back to Dixon for a second. What you were saying there about 7.3 rebounds a game. Grandy Glaze, he's leading the league at 12.5, I believe, and then the next closest person is more than 3 rebounds under him. So the 7.3, it's really up there with the tops of the league. So it's a really impressive stat.
Yeah, Grandy Glaze as well. Now that you mention him, he's also 5th in the league in field goal percentage, which is a very, very key stat, especially for a big man. He's at 56% on the season shooting. So a very efficient player, along with a great rebounder. The up fake gets Corey Dixon to bite. Antoine Chandler is going to pick up the foul. And it's going to be tighter heading to the free throw line for 2 with 1 second left on the game clock for the first quarter. With 2 free throws, they can get it close to a single-digit game, but the Sudbury 5 have done a really good job in this first quarter. The first one missed. A 35-22 lead. The second shot is missed, and Corey Dixon a tough time getting it down the court in 1 second of play. But after 1 quarter, really good effort from the Sudbury 5 coming out, especially after a lengthy break. They haven't played since last weekend. Yeah,
they clearly have fresh legs because they came out running today. And I noticed a big difference when they subbed out Hall, because then our players really just started attacking the basket. And it's worked out excellent for us.
Big thing here is no letdown in that second quarter, because we saw last weekend against the KW Titans a bad second quarter that allowed the Titans to get into the game, carry that momentum over into the second half, and allowed them to pull away with a pretty big win for the Titans that got them to 5-5 on the season. So no letdown coming in the second quarter. You mentioned it with Hall on the bench. Take advantage, even when he's out there, you know, try and drive, and then instead of going up, drive and kick, right?
Yeah, or even a nice 2-foot stop and then give a pump fake to try to get him in some kind of foul trouble as well. There's things you can do, and they've been doing a great job at it so far.
I mean, he has the size, but he hasn't shown anything to us so far that he is a prolific shot blocker, or that has that, you know, amazing timing that even as a 7-footer you're going to get blocked or sent away if you're coming up with a good effort in terms of driving to the basket. So we'll see what the Sudbury 5 and KW Titans do in terms of lineups for the second quarter, but it is a 35-22 lead for the hometown in front of the hometown crowd. A very good one on a Saturday night. We mentioned it tomorrow, 2 o'clock start will be the London Lightning coming to town once again. I mean, those two teams, really, it's a great matchup between these two teams and also the 5 and Lightning, and we can see the rivalry start to develop. You saw a bit of jawing in that first half or first quarter between Friesen and Braylon Rayson. So you get to know each other, you know their tendencies, but you also know who you like and who you don't like.
Yeah, guaranteed. And it's exactly what happens. The more you play other teams, and you build up animosities towards them. You get a bit more emotional when you start learning their tactics, whether you get fouled hard one game and then you get fouled hard again the next game by the same player. The players tend to start reacting a bit more. But rivalries, they're great for sports. So I mean, I love what the league did with the schedule.
And so the Titans start with the ball in the second quarter. They have Hall back out there, the 7-footer from Northampton. Went to Alnwright College, averaging 13.7 per game on the season. He played overseas a couple years out of college, then signed with Moncton in 2015, over to London, and played the last year as D'Alembert, sending his man packing like you send the relatives packing on Boxing Day.
You got to keep all that leftover turkey for yourself, too.
Sometimes it's good to be selfish. And a shot goes up. Nice job there by D'Alembert to come away with the rebound. Strong, and Travis Relaford streaking. Puts it up with the right hand. Hooks around the rim and out. No good. Cross-court pass. Smith going to the basket, up. D'Alembert sends him back once again, and that one stays in play, so the 5 can get out and running. D'Alembert is fouled from behind. Chandler, nice pass into the middle. Yohanni D'Alembert kind of hesitated for just a second. Once as soon as he caught the ball, he stopped, and that allowed the defense to catch up. It's good that it was a foul, but still you want to see him, make that decision a little bit going forward, and then go up with the ball, get yourself in position.
Yeah, coaches necessarily don't want to see their starting center in this case dribbling the ball too much. So if he gets it there again, ideally he should, pump fake, jab step, or just pass it out.
Nice pass, nice move, Euro step around the defender, Corey Dixon, smooth with the right hand.
This is exactly what I was hoping to see to start the second quarter, as you were talking about not having a letdown, is smart shots, and they're continuing to do that. They're continuing to take smart shots.
And Relaford out and running again. Nice touch, the floater from Travis Relaford. And the lead now up to 17 points for the Sudbury 5, 39-22. And Hall going to work inside, gets it up to Friesen, who drops it into Hall. Couple up fakes and
couple travels, I thought, too.
Very, very close. And you can see that, yes, you can attack him and play defense, because at 7 feet, you shouldn't pump fake that many times. Or shouldn't need to pump fake that many times. A 1 and that's good.
I'm not sure he needs to leave his feet, to be honest, so yeah.
Hall, either way, will go to the free throw line for 2. The first one is good. And looking for the second one in the first quarter, the Sudbury 5 were led by Braylon Rayson, 3 of 4 shooting for 9 points, but also some key contributions from Adam Blazek, Travis Relaford, Devin Gilligan, and Jalen Bland. Nice to see him off the bench getting going. 6 points, made both of his 3-point shots. Corey Dixon, the elbow jumper. He's going to knock that one down in the face of Justin Strings.
It looks like Dixon's starting to feel like he almost has a mismatch every time he's out here right now. His shots, he's been taking great shots.
Strings knocks down the Jimmy. And Strings, a nice steal there for the KW Titans. Justin Strings, the second most points in the history of Sacramento State University. The 70-year history of that school, he averaged 17.9 points per game in his final season, his senior season, and that was last year. So he's right out of university coming to play for the KW Titans. In 9 games this season he's played, a pretty dynamic scorer and pretty good rebounder as well. And up top it's Horton with the shot, and the 3-pointer is good.
It was a good job on defense there by Braylon, but it just looked like he couldn't get up and guard the shot as quickly as he would have hoped.
The shot from Relaford, that one's going to go off to the left, and it is saved by Ellis. Ellis out and running. He's going to hand it off to Strings. Strings sets the screen. It's Horton up top, who just hit the 3. Gets it over to Ellis. And back-to-back threes are good for the KW Titans, and the lead is down to 10. Was up to 17. Rayson uses the screen, uses the body, going into the very tall trees, the Oaks of Hall, who's not able to block the shot of the much shorter Braylon Rayson. Rayson in and out, dancing on him like he's at the dance floor at SRO, Alex.
Yeah, that was a beautiful display of footwork there when he was dribbling the ball. I was almost wondering if Logan was going to call a timeout soon or not, because we had seemed to kind of lost our focus there for a minute too. But Braylon's that type of player where he can just cross someone up, do a nice little step back, and drain the fading 3.
I mean, those moves, they're pretty for us to watch. They're pretty for the people and the fans at home to watch those type of moves, but it gets the crowd into it. Those moves get the crowd in, and it stifles any momentum or any run that the other team's doing, because now the crowd's back into it. They're energetic. The team's into it. The bench is into it. So Braylon Rayson, a special type of player who can do that on any given possession, on any given night. The shot there, Ellis missed. Smith is able to get the rebound out to Horton. He knocks it down. Horton's been key for the KW Titans.
And I mean, the defense has been great, but they're hitting deep contested threes. That's 3 in a row, I believe.
Horton defense not so great on that one, as Horton's able to go right to the rim. Beats Rayson. And then no help from Corey Dixon, as the lead is down to 8 with our first timeout. Logan Stutz, there it is with the timeout.
Yeah, you could kind of see it coming, but you had a bit of hope when Braylon hit that 3, but when they come down and they score twice within 2 minutes and with 3 seconds into the shot clock, they're beating us down the court. The coach has to say something. Or just give them a little break, time to think about getting their focus back here.
And so Horton, he's 33 years old, so he's definitely been around, has played 5 seasons in the National Basketball League of Canada, 2 with London, 3 with KW, his 3rd season now with the KW Titans. So 83 career games in the National Basketball League of Canada, or with the KW Titans. So he's an experienced player. He knows how to stop runs. He knows the importance of keeping this game close as they head into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. And a shot like that, it's kind of, you were talking earlier about us pumping up the home crowd, but a deep 3 like that, it also deflates the crowd at the same time. And it's something you'll see a lot of veterans do. They can tell if something's getting away from them, so they'll kind of make a play to deflate the crowd and quiet them down, so the other team, Sudbury 5, wouldn't have the home advantage at that moment.
And so the Sudbury 5, they make a couple substitutions. They've got Devin Gilligan out there and Jalen Bland. And Corey Dixon inbounding to Braylon Rayson. Braylon Rayson has the ball up top, tightly guarded by Smith. Gets it to Dixon, over to Bland, using a couple screens, has 2 on him. Nice pass down low to Corey Dixon. He's going to fade away shot, well off. Relaford able to get the rebound, can't finish the easy layup. And Ellis right back down the other way. And a nice finish there by Ellis gets this lead down to 6. Corey Dixon up with the left hand, tip in. A little volley from Relaford.
And I like what they did there. Their shots haven't been falling even to the basket, and they just kept attacking, and it's exactly what you need to do. So we did get the tip in on that one. It worked out perfect.
Horton sends his man Ellis through. He's going to shoot another 3-pointer, and once again.
Those are just facials. The defense has been doing great. They're right up on him, and he's just draining these deep threes.
And you can tell his confidence all-time high right now in this game. And so you almost want to kind of face guard him and not let him catch it. Not let him catch it close to the 3-point line. They're going to go inside to Hall, who has Relaford on him. And Relaford's going to pick up a foul.
Yeah, with Horford shooting like this, it's one of those situations where it's almost like you don't really want Bland sloughing off to play help defense at any point, because at this moment, Horton, you give him an inch, he's making the shot.
Justin Strings comes out, Sutherland back in. And there's a shot from Horton. He knocks it down again, and it's a 3-pointer. And Horton absolutely lights out, has silenced this crowd. It's a 2-point game. A 17-point lead, down to 2. And Devin Gilligan has Ellis on him. He goes to the basket, puts up the right hand. Nice answer there by Devin Gilligan.
I'd be picking up Horton here at half court if I was these boys. He's just been hitting everything.
And running a play for Horton once again off 2 screens. He's opened the shot up and short. Much better defense Jalen Bland had to fight through 3 screens, and Bland gets it up to Travis Relaford. Offense to defense.
Well, we can kind of hope for a law of averages here. He was on fire, hit 3-4 in a row, and so now hopefully he'll miss 3-4 in a row.
Well, Horton averaging 12.2 points a game, so he's right at his average right now. Hitting 4 threes already. And it's a 4-point lead for the Sudbury 5, 52-48. Devin Gilligan, step back, wide open Jimmy, getting buckets.
It's exactly what the 5 need right now is other players other than their 2 main scorers to step it up here.
That one an easy travel call as Hakeem Ellis ran into his own man, lost the ball, picked it right back up. And a travel.
A lot of patience there with the ref. I thought Ellis was going to get teed up for sure.
That's one of the better things about this league. You're allowed to, obviously what we saw in the first quarter, the technical came because the 2 players were jawing at each other. But you're allowed, the refs are a little bit lenient in terms you can talk to them as long as it doesn't get out of hand. You don't use curse words or whatever.
Yeah, I like that rule a lot too, because you don't want the refs playing a major role in the game. It should be the players that decide the outcome of the game.
Right. And I mean, you should be able to ask, you know, you get fouled or you pick up a foul, you should be able to ask the refs, okay, what did I do?
Absolutely.
What could I have done different, you know? And that conversation is there without, you know, the fear of every single thing you say to them or a little wave at them and you get a technical foul, right?
Yeah, and that's something we've been seeing in the NBA a lot this year as well, is players just trying to walk away and they wave their hand down and they get a technical foul, and it just slows the whole pace of the game and everything.
100% with you there, buddy. And Travis Relaford knocking down the shot. And the lead back up to 8 points for the Sudbury 5. Smith right to the cup. Right hand. Takes advantage of a wide lane. And Gilligan right back to the KW Titans net side. Can't put it down. Smith in the corner, Horton, who's open, and he's gonna knock it down. Wide open, Logan Stutz, extremely upset about that one.
Yeah, when a player's 4 for 4 in the quarter from the 3-point line, last thing the coach wants to see is him wide open in the corner for a shot.
Just a defensive breakdown, and one that just is unacceptable, especially at this level, as Horton's able to knock down the 3. It is still a 3-point lead for the Sudbury 5, but
you know, in the Sudbury 5's defense as well, as you mentioned, he only averages 12 points a game, so it's not like I can sit here and assume we haven't read the scouting report. It's just Horton's having one of those nights where it seems like he can't miss.
But guys like that who shoot hundreds and hundreds of 3-point shots a day, you know, they can get hot. And you make 2, 3 in a row and you get that confidence. And once a shooter has confidence, very tough to stop. And I mean, especially if they're that wide open. He's hit a couple contested ones, but that one completely wide open. So he pretty much has single-handedly brought the KW Titans back into this game. It was a 17-point lead, but that 3-point shot will cut down a lead quite quickly.
Yeah, it really will. And the thing is, too, is that they're mixing in the offense with great defense as well. They're really making us take hard shots down on the Sudbury 5's offensive end here. So they're putting together a complete game right now. But we do still have the 3-point lead, and we'll see what happens here in the rest of the first half.
Substitution in for the Sudbury 5 is Yash Suresh from Sudbury. So getting a couple minutes here. Braylon Rayson turns the corner, puts it up. The shot, no shooter's bounce there for Rayson. It's going to go off the foot of the KW Titans player, out of bounds. It's off of Smith, and 14 seconds on the shot clock. It's out to Braylon Rayson. Rayson steps out of bounds. A turnover as he was double teamed.
What I really would have liked to see from Rayson there, as soon as he put his head up and saw he was double teamed, he's got to swing the ball as quick as he can to find the open man.
Smith now with the ball for the Titans, has Devin Gilligan on him. pass into Hall. Hall has Ceres on him, goes up with the left hand. Nice finish there, going left off glass.
Yeah, watching him do that drop step there, it's kind of hard to think how you're going to defend that.
And Travis Relaford backing down Sutherland, gets it out to the corner to Ceres. The shot is long, no good. And a 1-point lead for the Sudbury Five. It's Smith, the bounce pass to Ellis. Going under, gives the Titans back the lead for the first time since the first quarter. And Grandy Glaze up top has a lot of room. Hall not wanting to play him, so he's going to step back and take the three, trying to make him pay. Ceres, nice job there. And no shot, but it will be 5-ball as Ceres is able to get the rebound with Horton on him.
Yeah, good job by Ceres there. Horton was trying to hold him down so he couldn't get to the ball, but luckily the ref saw it.
And that shot by Glaze would have been so nice to go down because Hall not playing him outside the free throw line at all. So
yeah, it's something I'd like to see more from Glaze today. I mean, if he's not going to guard him out there, it's a shot we've seen him hit. So
off a 5 miss, Sutherland is running. Did not get the foul call, missed it. And George Ceres drops it off to Braylon Rayson. Rayson leaning in, can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound and finds Relaford. Is hit a couple times in the head, puts it up, and no good. And another turnover from the Sudbury Five.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't a highlight play there. The ball seemed to have been bouncing around everywhere. No one could really get their hands on the ball.
And the Titans, who have a 1-point lead, looking to make it more. Horton, surprised he's not looking for that shot there, gets it into Hall. Hall trying to go get his own rebound. Glaze doing a nice job boxing him out. And Glaze trying to go all the way. Has Sutherland on him, one person's open as Hall has to switch. Hall gets a hand on it. Rayson out to Gilligan. Gilligan, nice move there by Devin Gilligan, no finish. But he gets his own rebound out to Rayson. Bounce pass, tipped by Ellis. Sloppy play here in the latter half of the second quarter from the Sudbury Five. Horton, the up fake, and a foul coming. Ceres, good job closing out on the shooter, Horton. And we're gonna have a sideline out of bounds.
Horton's kind of getting the all-star calls out there now with the way he's been playing in the first half here. I thought he kind of just dribbled the ball off his foot there because Ceres looked like he did close out really well, like you mentioned.
Horton gets it down low to the big man Hall, who has Braylon Rayson on him. That's a slight mismatch.
Yeah, and you can't let Hall get that low. I mean, he can put his hand up and hold the rim, you know. He's literally standing right under the basket on that one.
Rayson, the crossover, has two on him. Nice move there by Braylon Rayson. Feeder number 2, putting on a show.
Little MJ hop step there, right through the two defenders. That was a really nice move.
And Ellis, drop pass to Sutherland. Tip up, no good. Grandy Glaze gets the rebound. Up to Devin Gilligan. Gilligan around the defender. Has it stripped, it's taken away. Hall has it. Hall up to Horton. Horton going at Ceres, and one. That finish is gonna be an and one finish, and we had some jawing off behind the play between Ellis and Travis Relaford.
They hugged it out after, so that's nice to see too. Sometimes your emotions get the better of you, and you know, you take that half a second to calm down. But I think Relaford was upset there because Ellis was holding him down from being able to get back up and get back into play.
And so Logan Stutz, head coach of the Sudbury Five, having a couple of words with the referee on the side. Horton looking to finish off the and one. He does. It's a 4-point lead for the KW Titans. After 1 quarter of play here in Sudbury, it was 35-22. 35-22 for the Sudbury Five. It's now 62-58 for the KW Titans. And Grandy Glaze to the basket. He's going to get fouled. As he goes up, he'll head to the free throw line. And so with 51.8 seconds left, it'll be Grandy Glaze heading to the free throw line for 2. And that one is rattling around. It will go down for Grandy Glaze. A 59-point first half for the Sudbury Five. On the other side, KW has 62. And Grandy Glaze hits 2 of 2. So it's a 40-point second quarter for the KW Titans. Looking to make that more.
That's something Stutz is definitely going to be addressing at halftime. The defense has been playing well, but just as Ellis knocks down another 3 for them, they're just hitting their shots. I mean, we're defending them well, but they're just hitting their shots.
And a turnover from the Sudbury Five up to Sutherland. Relaford chasing. And it goes down. Ceres back to Relaford as the final shot will go to the Sudbury Five. A very good quarter from the KW Titans has given them a 7-point lead.
Yeah, they're currently at 45 points for the second quarter, so it's definitely not something Coach Logan Stutz is going to be impressed with by the team.
And now both coaches having a couple words between each other. And with 10 seconds left, a double team comes on Braylon Rayson. Rayson gets it over to Relaford, out to Gilligan for 3. Well long. Relaford trying to get to it, he can't. And that will do it for the first half of action here in Greater Sudbury. Not the second quarter you would have liked.
No, absolutely not. It's tough to say because I don't even know what the coach would say at halftime because, as I said, they've been playing great defense. So
the Sudbury Five, they are down by 7 points at the end of the first half. Still plenty of basketball, so stick around for the second half of action. We'll be back in just a little bit. Back inside the Sudbury Community Arena. Second quarter, not so good for the Sudbury Five, as a 45-point quarter for the KW Titans has allowed them to take the lead in this game.
Yeah, Ed Horton, he's been really having an amazing performance tonight. He's 9 of 11 for shooting, 25 points in the first half. So yeah, we're going to kind of hope that he calms down a bit here in the second half, and we'll see what happens.
Last game last Sunday, it was 8 players in double digits that really hurt the Sudbury Five. KW had a very all-around effort. This game, it's 2 players who are really leading the way, led by Ed Horton, as you mentioned. Hakeem Ellis also doing a great job with 14 points. The Sudbury Five as well, they are being outplayed and outscored in the assist category, 15-6. So the KW Titans, they're moving the ball really well, whereas the Sudbury Five, it's kind of stagnant. They have gotten some good looks and had a 17-point lead. So you kind of got to look as a coaching staff, you know what, forget that second quarter. Let's head back to what we were doing in that first quarter.
Exactly as you mentioned. Yeah, let's forget that second quarter there. They were outscored by 20 points in the quarter, and you know, the coach at that point, I don't even know if he wants to address it at half or just kind of say, let's focus on this third quarter here and try to win this game.
Well, the bad news for the Sudbury Five, it's very similar to what happened on Sunday, a loss against the KW Titans. Sudbury held a first quarter lead of 29-24, then were outscored 34-19 in the second quarter, which led to a loss in the long run, 124-113. We'll see if tonight is different in Greater Sudbury. A good look coming right out of the half. Adam Blazek, who played pretty good in the first half, 7 points. Did that all in the first quarter. And the Sudbury Five, they led by 18 points. Nice block there by Yohani D'Alembert. They led by 18 points with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the second. And it was all KW from there. Inside to Corey Dixon, he puts it up and in, looking for a foul, no call. It's 67-62. Into Ellis, that one is going to be out of bounds, and it will stay in the hands of the Titans.
And Nick, as you mentioned, the previous game we played where we had the letdown in the second quarter as well. It's a trend you really don't want to see continue, and Coach Stutz, he's going to have his work out for him, trying to figure out how to correct that.
And those are the type of shots you don't want to see. Out to Ed Horton, who gets a look. He was 9 of 11 in that first half, absolutely shooting lights out. And a couple second chance opportunities for the Titans. Out to Ellis, the up fake goes by Corey Dixon to the rim. No good. Hall with a look. And he's going to be fouled, head to the free throw line. 5 chances off 5 offensive rebounds there for the KW Titans.
It's another one of those things you really don't like to see, because when it comes to rebounding, it's usually an effort thing, and when you're getting 5 offensive rebounds, it's pretty disappointing.
And Hall misses number 1.
Well, let's see if he makes this one. We might be able to develop a bit of a strategy here. Hackahall.
Kind of sounds like a game at a fair, Hackahall. And missed both free throws, Hall did. Corey Dixon, he goes up, he's going to get fouled, head to the free throw line. Nice take there from Corey Dixon.
It's one of the things I've noticed the players do quite a bit, particularly around the basket. I don't know if it has to do with the refs allowing them to play a bit more physical than, per se, other leagues, but they foul hard. These guys, they get hit pretty hard when they're under the basket.
They get their money's worth, that's for sure. To the free throw line, Corey Dixon knocks down number 1. It's 67-63. The Sudbury Five led 35-22 after the first quarter and trailed by 7 after 2. Ellis looking for Smith, he finds him. Up top, has Dixon on him. Smith, a nice move to get around his man and goes up and finishes. Travis Relaford looking for Blazek, who comes around a screen, has Yohani D'Alembert, finds Dixon somehow. Dixon turns around, the shot, no good, and saved. What an effort there by Braylon Rayson, coming out of nowhere to make the save.
Such great basketball IQ on him. That's I love seeing that play. It almost feels like if you're the defender getting the ball thrown at you, like you should be getting a foul or something because the guy just whipped the ball at me. But that's in the rules and it's fair play.
Inside to D'Alembert, who's backing down on Hall, goes up, and the foul is going to be called to the big man Hall. So Yohanni D'Alembert used his weight and size against Hall, who was kind of standing straight up, backed him down a little bit, then went right up into his arms.
Yeah, D'Alembert's a smart player too. He knows, especially with taller guys, the rule is you got to keep your arms straight up. But if they lean their arms in, then as the offensive player, you might as well go straight up because the ref's going to call that a foul every time.
D'Alembert hits 1 of 2. Got the start tonight. And we're going to have a foul called on Adam Blazek there as he's guarding Horton. They have Blazek on Horton. Like that matchup. Switching it up a little bit. Great defensive player against a guy who was absolutely on fire in the first half. And just as I say that, there goes Adam Blazek to the bench for Devin Gilligan.
Well, Gilligan's got a bit of a height advantage, so I get it. But I like Blazek on him too because he's a bit quicker, so he could follow him and chase him out to the three-point line a bit better. But we'll see what Gilligan can do here.
The reason for that, Blazek now has 4 personal fouls, so that's why they take him out. Shot is missed. Corey Dixon coming down, looking for anyone, finds Relaford, who spins, has Hall all turned around, but misses the jumper. Out to Braylon Rayson. He steps back, he's gonna jack up the 3, no good. The shots that were falling in the first quarter are just not in the second and so far in the third for the Sudbury 5. It's Ashton Smith, gets it over to Akeem Ellis. And the shot in the corner is good. That one, Tremar Sutherland. And Sutherland, the 29-year-old from Toronto, is the franchise's, the KW Titans' leading scorer, and the foul is going to be called an offensive foul.
It's I kind of agree with Rayson here. The two defenders were collapsing in on him. He just kind of split in between them, but was bumped while he was making his move to the hole. Now
Sutherland, the franchise's leading scorer, has been with the team since the very beginning of the 2016 season. And Lynn now in for the Titans, gets it to Sutherland. He goes up with the left hand, somehow gets that one to fall.
The defense is there. They're playing really well right now.
And Braylon Rayson, a nice answer. Not putting his head down after that call on the last time down for the Sudbury 5. Goes right back the other way and is able to put it in with the left hand and will get a free throw.
And that's exactly what we need from Rayson. You have a tendency as a player to look up at the shot clock or the game board and kind of see the score and see you're down. So you can't let it take anything out of you because as we mentioned in the first quarter when we had a 15-point lead, there's no lead safe in this league. You can go on a 10-0 run in a minute and a half, and as long as we keep trying, I think everyone's going to be happy with their money spent tonight.
It's a 74-67 ball game in favor of the KW Titans. Horton. The handoff to Ellis. The shot is up and good. Lynn hits a 3. And since the end of the first quarter, Kitchener-Waterloo has been absolutely on fire shooting the ball. A deep 3 there from Braylon Rayson, no good.
Yeah, they were 7 and 9 for 3 in the second quarter.
A steal there from the Sudbury 5. Dixon can't finish, but he will get fouled. Yeah, 70% is just absolutely amazing. And from the three-point line, not only that, 66% overall from the field in that second quarter.
What's a bit worrisome right now too is, the defense is there, but the trend seems to be continuing for the KW Titans. Their shots are just, everything's falling for them right now.
And while the second quarter stats for the KW Titans are at 77% for the from the three-point line, on the other side, the Sudbury Five were just 1 for 6 in that quarter at 16%.
Ouch.
Both shots made there by Corey Dixon. Is able to get it now down to 8 points. And Akeem Ellis gets it into the corner. That shot from Sutherland is no good. And Travis Relaford finding Braylon Rayson. The handoff is no good, a fumble. And Sutherland, Euro step and one.
It's an awfully soft foul on that one, especially the way they've been letting them play down low here. Gilligan appeared to just backstep away from him on that, so.
And Braylon Rayson had that handoff kind of go off his chest area. And the steal comes back the other way to haunt the Sudbury Five. Sutherland, we mentioned it, the KW Titans all-time leading scorer. Gets this lead now up to 11. What a difference 20 minutes makes. As Jalen Bland has an open three, puts it up, no good. The shooters for the Sudbury Five just aren't hitting. Lynn, the up fake. Finds Sutherland outside, he puts it up and knocks it down. And a timeout to the Sudbury Five. And it has been a big time difference in terms of the crowd energy after the first quarter to now where we are.
Well, the other thing too is for the KW Titans is they have the psychological advantage right now. They're coming in playing the first team in the division. And when you're holding that spot as first team in your division, this is what you get. Teams are going to come out and they're going to play you that much harder every single night. So Sudbury Five really needs to pick up their intensity here and match what the KW Titans are doing.
I mean, the good news, if just look at recent history, the Titans were able to come back from 18 points down and make this a ball game very quickly. If shooters can get hot for the Sudbury Five, they can climb back and claw back into this. You want to make it at least single digits heading into that fourth quarter. So we'll see what's said in this timeout for the Sudbury Five, and if they come out with energy. They look flat. They look really good in the first quarter, but very flat in that second and third quarter, almost as if, you know, okay, we got the lead, we almost have the game won or a game in hand, and the Titans just never gave up, and they just have been fighting ever since.
It's really hard to do too when you're playing with a lead of that size. As much as the coach will tell you, you know, keep giving the same effort, keep giving the same energy. It's hard to actually do it on the court because, as you mentioned, you do kind of feel like, oh, okay, like we got this game, we can just turn it on whenever we want. And you know, you relax that little extra, even 5%, and it's enough to make the difference in the game.
Ball in, Sudbury Five. We'll see what they do after this timeout. Rayson trying to find Travis Relaford. He does. He has Sutherland on him. Relaford dropping it down to Corey Dixon. Dixon backing his man down. Puts it up and won't fall. That would have been nice, but Dixon heads back to the free throw line.
Great effort there by Dixon. He wasn't willing to give up. He got fouled a couple times before the refs even blew the whistle, so I'm impressed with Dixon tonight.
Well, Dixon's been impressive all season long, but as we saw from the last game of the KW Titans against the KW Titans, all 5 starters for the Sudbury Five scored in double figures. It was still a loss. So there's more to it than just, you know, getting that added scoring. And that too, I mean, as well, you didn't have those big games from Braylon Rayson or Jalen Bland where they go off for like 30 points or 35 points. The high score for the Sudbury Five was at 20. And the high scorer tonight for the KW Titans, Horton, was at 25 after halftime. So the shot missed by the Titans. Got to get defensive stops and then start hitting the shots on offense. Braylon Rayson has 2 on him. An open out to Bland. Shots up, and that one missed. Devin Gilligan. Nice effort there by Devin Gilligan, able to get the ball back. Out in the corner, it's Devin Gilligan, shot up, hits nothing. Couple of good looks for the Sudbury Five, just not able to hit.
Yeah, it's not looking good for their shots tonight, and especially when you see Gilligan shoot that air ball, you know he's trying to find his shot right now, and it's simply not there.
You got to keep shooting. If you get those looks, keep shooting. Eventually they will fall. Hopefully it is before the end of the fourth quarter and not in the next practice for the Sudbury Five.
Yeah, and shooting slumps happen to everyone. I mean, even Steph Curry, Klay Thompson's going through a historic, terribly shooting slump right now as well. And the only way to get out of it is by you just keep shooting. One thing I used to like to do as a player too was if your shot's not falling, then get to the free throw line, because it's somewhere where you can find your shot. And so we'll see if Gilligan can drive to the basket a couple times here, maybe pick up a foul.
Nigel Titer heading to the free throw line after the and one. And the lead up to 14 now for the KW Titans, the visiting Titans. First two games of this series were won by the Sudbury Five, although they were very close to three-point games. Or sorry, the first one was a three-point game. The second one was a 8-point game. And then the KW Titans, a blowout win last Sunday. First meeting here in Greater Sudbury. That one's going to go off the Titans. Out of bounds with 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
I want to give some props to our fans tonight. You mentioned the first game a little bit ago, and compared to the first game, they've really learned the game of basketball better. Like when KW Titans right now, they're going to the foul line, our fans are getting loud, they're getting rowdy, they're getting noisy, trying anything to help distract them.
And Sutherland goes up, can't get it to fall. The right hand, Corey Dixon splits the defenders. Out to Bland, open for three again. Bland unable to hit. Those are shots in the first couple games of the season. Bland was knocking down with ease. And Lynn the other way. Can't hit. Sutherland, an easy offensive rebound. He's going to slow it down. Joel Friesen gets it into Ellis. Has it poked away out to Lynn. Lynn gets it to Sutherland. The shot is short. Another rebound. It's tighter, and a foul is going to be called. He'll head to the free throw line, but offensive rebound after offensive rebound.
I'm not sure why they switched to a zone at this point, but with the other team hitting so many threes tonight, it's kind of the opposite of what you'd like to do. But a lot of these long offensive rebounds have to do with us running a zone on defense right now as well, because there's just the open spaces on the court are that much more open. So hopefully they can switch back to man here and kind of man up and guard your own guy.
Well, Logan Stutz trying to switch it up, trying to get, something going.
Yeah.
Understandable, but I totally agree with your points against the zone. And especially there where you see those easy offensive rebounds, they just drop in spaces. Long rebounds, they kill zones because you're trying to find a man box out and then they just fall and, you're right back to the other team. And then not only do they score, they kill some valuable time off the clock. We're down to 4:24 left to go in this third quarter. Pass down low to Sutherland. Nice play there. Travis Relaford to Corey Dixon. The throwdown in the crowd gives that one a good round of applause.
Yeah, they don't have a lot to be excited about there, but, down 15 at the moment, but Dixon waking them up there with that huge throwdown.
And it's as if head coach Logan Stutz heard you yelling out, man up, telling them to pick up their own man.
Yeah.
Lynn with the ball, gets it to Horton, who had a huge first half with 25 points. Nothing so far in the second half. And Relaford meets Titer at the rim, sends him away. Relaford in the corner to Devin Gilligan. He puts it up. It's going to be a blocking call, so he'll head to the free throw line. Might have been a travel in the corner, but the refs missed it. And Devin Gilligan.
I was a bit concerned with that too. I'm kind of happy the refs missed it. It worked out well for us. But I think what Gilligan was doing there is he saw the help side defender he wasn't even in the key at all, so he just tried to beat him to the spot and get the shot up because he knew he'd get the call.
The Sudbury Five did a great job swinging the ball there. Started with Relaford to Blazek. One guy closing out on Blazek, one guy can't guard two. So a quick swing gets it to Devin Gilligan, and he's gone towards the basket. And so Devin Gilligan, the second shot is good. It's 88-75 for the KW Titans as the third quarter is winding down.
Surprised Coach Stutz went with Blazek again after having the fourth foul picked up already. I kind of thought he was going to wait till the fourth quarter, but being down this much, you kind of got to throw all your chips in.
Spin move by Strings, a foul against Devin Gilligan. He kind of nods his head as if he knows he picked up the foul. So Strings will head to the free throw line for two. And Strings, a graduate of Sacramento State. The first of two as the crowd gets a little bit loud, and it works. One of two is missed.
We need an assist button here for the crowd.
Second shot is good for Justin Strings. It's an 89-75 game. 3:25 left to go. And nice move there by Blazek. Gets it to Rayson. The shot is up and rattles in. Five fans have been used to rattling out so far this game, especially second and third quarter. That one a nice knockdown by Rayson.
Hopefully it's all he needed to, and that's a lot. That's what it is a lot of times with shooters. You get one, the next four drop for you.
Friesen misses that one, a big rebound, and it's going to go past a couple of players, and an over and back will be called.
Just like that, it's an 11-point game for us. We have the ball. You know, if you can cut it down to maybe 6 or 7 by the start of the fourth quarter, things are going to be looking a lot better for us.
And that's what we talked about, keeping it down to a couple possession game rather than having to go on a big run to get back into it in the fourth quarter. Blazek, the shot, no good. That one rattles out. That one would have been big for the Sudbury Five. And Friesen with it now. Takes it right to the basket, left hand. Nice job there, kind of slowing down the defender, then picking up the pace as he was going to the rim and finishes left.
Yeah, the ability to do change of pace, it's a move in all of itself. Corey Dixon.
Dixon and one. Corey Dixon making up. Jalen Bland struggling on offense after the first quarter. Relaford as well. So Corey Dixon picking up some of the slack as Yohanni D'Alembert checks in for Travis Relaford. Haven't seen a whole lot of Grandy Glaze in this game, which is odd. We've been used to, you know, outside of starting the first and second quarter, seeing a healthy dose of Grandy Glaze.
And you'll see that too, playing 4 extra games compared to the other team. You pick up every game. You pick up minor little injuries, a little bump and bruise here, you know, and so they might be on a minute limit, kind of same with Jalen Bland tonight. So the coach might be trying to watch how many minutes they play, and other guys got to step up.
Lynn gets it down low to Ellis, has Rayson on him, step back, and we're going to get a foul there and count it. And Ellis has a couple words for the Five bench. Nice shot, bit of a weak call on the foul, but
I'm all behind you on that one. Yeah, it's odd. Like, I understand how hard it is to ref, but it's odd to see how physical they're allowed to be, and then you see Ellis kind of push off and fade back there, and you get the fouls on our guy.
Ellis makes the free throw. It's a 94-81 game here in Sudbury. Blazek, a beautiful move, splitting the defense, left hand. What a play by the former Titan.
Oh, how pretty is that? He's just a joy to watch out there.
It's out to Lynn. Lynn puts up the three, no good. Yohanni D'Alembert gets the rebound. Gilligan on the run, finds Blazek. Blazek had D'Alembert for a second. Gilligan puts it up, and the three, no good. That's why you got to follow the rebound. Gilligan running back like he hit it. And Ellis puts it up, no good. Corey Dixon up to Devin Gilligan. Gilligan is going to get a foul called on him, and he's going to head to the free throw line. It's Friesen picking up the foul. A good move there. Sudbury in the fast break. They're really picking up the pace, getting energetic.
It's almost as if they flipped a switch. We didn't see anything like that in the second quarter or most of the third here. And this is the way the Sudbury Five excel when they play at a fast pace like this.
You got to look there at the Adam Blazek take. What a nice move it was, splitting the D and going up.
He'll remember that one. Those always feel really good as the player. You're kind of it's almost kind of like for a big man dunking on someone. You kind of just embarrass them a little bit.
And Devin Gilligan and the Sudbury Five have cut it to a 10-point game. And there's single digits for the Sudbury Five. We're down to 9 points. Corey Dixon comes out. Jalen Bland comes in. Still no sighting of Grandy Glaze. He is on the bench. And he's been riding the bike for a while, trying to keep warm. Not sure if he's dealing with any nagging injury. Ellis gets it to Horton. Inside to Strings. Nice move there. Great footwork and keeping the ball high from Justin Strings.
When it comes to Glaze there, it's you know, if he's not 100%, I'd rather almost not play him. He's too important to this team to have a minor injury turn into something that's going to be lingering on for a couple games.
There you go, Braylon Rayson 5, 4, 3. And it is a 96-88 game, an 8-point game here in Sudbury as the time winds down. And the answer, Akeem Ellis.
Seems like every time we hit a big shot, they come down and they knock the wind out of us with one of their own.
But how about that for a big shot? Braylon Rayson says, you can answer, so can I.
Yeah, back-to-back threes there for Rayson. I'd like to see him continue this aggressiveness at the three-point line.
Friesen. Again, almost looks like he's going in slow motion, but he's just picking his spot.
He's angling his body really well, so he's not allowing the defender to get an arm over him. And it's leading to an easy layup for him pretty much every time he's been doing it.
And Lynn is going to pick up a foul there. That means free throws for the Sudbury Five. Rayson took a hard foul, or hard fall, sorry, as he collided with Lynn, who was trying to take a charge. So Rayson's going to need a little bit of time before shooting these free throws, shaking it off.
Yeah, he's a tough cat, though. It's going to be pretty hard for him to agree to come out of the game, whether he's got a little bump or something.
Rayson's first free throw is good, back to single digits. This one would make it an 8-point game. 7.2 seconds left to go in this third quarter. And Rayson shot is good. Okay. And so the Sudbury Five and Friesen can't get the shot up. No good. As the Sudbury Five, well, they still haven't played great. It was a nice end to that third quarter to allow themselves to get into this game as well. It looked like they, went into another gear, shifted up a little bit, and turned this around, had the same kind of energy they did coming out of that first quarter.
Yeah, and it's exactly what they need to do. As we've seen at the beginning of the year, that's when we excel. We're leading the league in points for. And that's how we've done it, is we play at a fast pace. We don't allow the other team's defense to get set. So hopefully, as you said, the fourth quarter, we kind of do the same thing.
Kind of eerily familiar from the last Sunday's game, though, which is not a good sign for the Sudbury Five. The Five in that last game against the KW Titans won the first quarter, got blown out in the second quarter, won the third quarter, then lost it in the fourth. So we'll see how this one plays out. It's very similar to how this one went on, although the Titans really outscored the Sudbury Five in that second quarter. Nice job down the stretch, getting Braylon Rayson going. You want to see him continue that into the fourth quarter. You want to see Jalen Bland get involved as well. Grandy Glaze, hopefully he can get back out there and contribute. You need him. He's always that spark that really brings the crowd up as well, gets those big rebounds that you need down the stretch.
Yeah, and Braylon Rayson, I think he's going to be the most important here for the fourth quarter. It was great to see him knock down those couple back-to-back threes. And we're going to need him to have that same energy and the same shot in the fourth quarter if we're going to pick up a win.
And Akeem Ellis as well has picked up his play as this game has gone along and had been the key leader for the KW Titans. So the Sudbury Five going to have to slow him down. Ed Horton, we talked about him. He had a great first half. Nothing in that third quarter, but still he's riding some confidence. So he's going to continue to look for that shot in the fourth quarter. The Sudbury Five, they trail this one 101-93, and it's down to the final 12 minutes here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be exciting. We'll send it down to court level as we get ready. But the Sudbury Five, they have the London Lightning tomorrow. So this one's a big win. You got two divisional games. You want to pick up that first one, especially after a lengthy break that the Sudbury Five did for the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. And with two divisional opponents like that, it makes it that much more important that we do get these wins.
All right, it is Smith, Ashton Smith for the KW Titans out there with Friesen, Ellis, Springs, and Horton. Nice pass there from Friesen, dropping it off to Springs.
It's one of those things, though. Dallenberg's got to bump him out. He can't let Springs get that close to the basket.
Adam Blazek is out there with Grandy Glaze. Good to see him back. Braylon Rayson, Yohani Dallenberg, and Devin Gilligan. Braylon Rayson, as he does and has been doing all season long, somehow picks up that foul call while he's taking a three-point shot. He's going to head to the free throw line, I believe, for three. No, they're calling it side out of bounds.
How are they calling it side out of bounds?
I'm thinking it's because when he landed,
oh, okay,
they call a push after he landed, so that's the explanation that I think is what happened.
But yeah, that would make sense. I'm a bit biased for the 75, though, so.
The shot, Adam Blazek. Blazing from three-point line. And a nice shot there, Adam Blazek getting into double figures. And Braylon Rayson leading the way for the Sudbury Five with 30 points. Akeem Ellis is blocked. Out to Friesen, the shot up. And those second chance opportunities so big as a three-pointer just knocks the winds out of the sails of the Sudbury Five. Blazek is going to get fouled. It'll be side out of bounds. So Braylon Rayson leading the way with 30 points. Corey Dixon at 17 and Travis Relaford 14 along with Devin Gilligan's 14. On the other side, Ed Horton had 25 in the first half. That's where he's at right now. And then as well, Akeem Ellis, a big game from him, 21 points. And then Tamar Sutherland with 13.
Ed Horton, too, I noticed. He took 11 shots in the first half, made 9 of them. And then in the third quarter, he only attempted 1 shot. So our defense must have been really adjusted well to him.
Braylon Rayson from way downtown from the Sudbury logo. Still worth 3, but should be worth 4.
That'll wake the crowd up real quick, though. That was deep.
If they were playing in the big 3, that one would have been worth 4 points. And Akeem Ellis trying to answer right back with a deep 3 of his own. Springs, offensive rebound, he goes up. Yohani Dallenberg is able to come away with it. That's a big one from Dallenberg. Up to Devin Gilligan. Gilligan drops it to Dallenberg. He goes up, misses, gets his own rebound, puts it up, no good. A couple looks for Yohani Dallenberg that were no good.
I like the offensive rebound by Dallenberg there, but I would kind of like to see him kick it out to a higher percentage shooter.
Springs up over top of Yohani Dallenberg, who got caught in between 2 players. And the lead back up to 108-99 for the KW Titans. Smith trying to poke it free from Rayson, who cues up another deep 3, no good. We're going to see Corey Dixon and Travis Relaford check back into the game shortly. Smith, the jumper is no good, bounces weird off the board. Grandy Glaze gets the rebound. Adam Blazek in and out behind the back. Blazek has it knocked free. It's going to go out of bounds off of the Titans. Blazek, perhaps one too many dribbles there. And so Gilligan comes out. Yohani D'Alembert as well will come out. In comes Relaford and Corey Dixon as well. Derek Hall, the 7-footer, is going to come in for Akeem Ellis. I'm sure it'll just be a short break for Ellis. And Grandy Glaze will be tasked with guarding the 7-footer. But also Hall will be tasked with guarding Grandy Glaze. Rayson, step back, shot, no good. Hits back iron. Smith gets it over to Springs to Friesen. Down low to Hall. Hall's made a couple nice passes, and that one huge. Your big man gets it, cut to the basket, and if you got a good passer like Hall is, he'll find you. Relaford.
Well, smart play there by Horford too. When you're on offense, if you see your defender turn his head away from you and he can't see you, it's exactly what you're supposed to do is dash right to the basket.
And Horton. Another three. He was quiet in that third quarter, just one shot as Alex you mentioned, but shooters can still hit. Braylon Rayson has it knocked away. Springs sends it up to Hall. Blazek trying to strip it free. Hall misses the first one, cleans up his own rebound.
I thought Blazek did the right thing there with the hard foul on Hall, but refs didn't call it.
115-101. Grandy Glaze is given all the time in the world to head down. His pass is stolen, and this one's getting a little out of hand for the Sudbury 5. Smith to the basket, splits right through everybody, and finishes with the right hand. It's now up to 16 points.
Yeah, and the discouraging part is that not only are they knocking down their threes, they're pretty much getting layup after layup right now.
A foul is called. That one's going to go against the Titans. And it's Ashton Smith picking up the foul. In comes Tramar Sutherland, and Horton comes out after hitting that three.
You know, down 16, 7:21. It's not over by any means. We can go on a serious run still. So let's just hope we start focusing on the right things here.
A shot missed by Corey Dixon. Gilligan chasing after the rebound, can't get it, and it's Titan ball. Hall spins towards the baseline, and a late foul is going to be called on Corey Dixon.
I love the patience these refs have with the players out here. That was such a great job. You know, Dixon's a bit upset at himself. He throws the ball down the court. And they just let it play on. Oh, I correct myself on that. I believe they did call it down. Okay, they did make the call.
The ref on the far side calling the technical foul, so it will be Friesen.
But Dixon, I get why Dixon was so upset there. I think he did foul him, but when the ref lets a second and a half, which to the players feels like 5 seconds go by before blowing the whistle, it just infuriates you.
So Hall will head to the free throw line after the missed free throw by Friesen. The 7-footer Derek Hall coming into the fourth quarter, missing that free throw at 7 points, 12 rebounds. Couple personal fouls as well, up to 4 on the game.
You notice Grandy came in for a minute or two there, but he appears to be back on the bike, so he's definitely not feeling good.
Short spurts. I guess short spurts of someone like him is better than not having him at all, but as you mentioned, you don't want to risk further injury if he is in fact injured. And the free throw is good. That matches the largest lead for the KW Titans of the game at 17 points. The Sudbury 5 in the second quarter led by 18. Nice pass there by Devin Gilligan. Corey Dixon can't get it to fall. Blazek calling for a goaltending as the mesh was pulled while the shot was kind of still around the rim. And a foul is going to be called on Corey Dixon.
Well, and on that last play, Dixon didn't exactly make it easy for himself, bringing the ball from right to left, back to right, while turning his body. Even though you're a foot and a half away from the rim, it's a hard shot to make when you're not squared up.
Well, it's going to be a baseline out of bounds for the KW Titans, who lead in this game 118-101 by 17 points. It was an 11-point victory in Kitchener-Waterloo last Sunday. The Sudbury 5 have this game today, and then they take on the London Lightning once again tomorrow. Ball is into Hall. He's gonna up fake, get it out to Sutherland. 8 on the shot clock, out of bounds, and a turnover.
I know it's a small area on the court there, but I'm surprised how often the players do that, where their back foot kind of just sloughs out of bound to the end line there.
Rayson takes a screen from Johanni D'Alembert. Devin Gilligan spinning, spin cycle and one. Heating up is Devin Gilligan.
Love the fight in him. He won't give up. He's on the court. He doesn't care what the score is. He's going 110%. And a couple finesse points on a nice drop step too.
Very nice. And Devin Gilligan looking for the and one, makes it, so 3 points there from Devin Gilligan. And the Sudbury 5 are down 14. Smith, a couple crossovers at the top, gets it out to Hall. The 3 is short, gets his own rebound behind the back pass to Smith into Hall. The fadeaway, that one's short. Sutherland, the rebound, it's bounced around, and just like that is what been happening for most of the game. Offensive rebound, and Sutherland gets a foul called as well, so he'll head to the line for an extra one.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things again where it just kind of seems unlucky for us. We had three people going for the rebound there. They had 2, and it just kept bouncing to the one spot we couldn't get it.
We're gonna have a timeout called. Head coach Logan Stutz not happy with the referee calling that one a foul on an and one, but I'd be more upset about giving up 4 offensive rebounds in 1 possession than the foul call at the very end. That foul doesn't happen if the rebounds are gobbled up by the Sudbury 5. So 120-104, and the time is running out on the Sudbury 5.
And you know the thing that really infuriates Coach Logan Stutz is that they work on these things in practice. You got to box out your man. You don't have to jump for the ball. You have to turn, find a man, and box him out. And they haven't really been doing it a lot this game, so I'm assuming it's going to be something they're definitely focused on at their next practice.
Well, not much time or not much rest for the Sudbury 5 as they take on the Lightning tomorrow. And the Lightning, the Sudbury 5, it was their first ever home game that they were able to beat the Lightning, and it was exciting. The fans were into it, and then the Lightning came back and were able to beat them in the second time that they faced each other in Greater Sudbury. Great crowd once again here in Sudbury on hand. I'm sure it'll be more of the same for tomorrow's home game.
Yeah, it'll be another battle tomorrow, though, that's for sure. Hopefully Grandy Glaze is able to suit up. On a positive side, Jalen Bland's gotten 17 minutes so far tonight, so he seems to be slowly working his way back in. So the more minutes we can get from him, all the better.
And it's tough to see, though, on the back-to-back, right, of just how the coaching staff decides to use the players. A shot there by Hall, a 2-point shot.
Yeah, it might be one of those situations where they even sit them because players coming off injuries, a lot of times coaches don't like to play them in back-to-back games, especially going from a night game to an afternoon game. The recovery time on the body is not there.
A pass into D'Alembert, has it taken away. And Blazek trying to get it back from Sutherland. He can't. Smith almost double dribbles. But is able to get it over half and slows it down a little bit. 5 minutes exactly left to go in this fourth quarter. The fans, give them credit, they've stuck around. And they're sticking around to the end as that shot is missed.
But you know why they stick around, I think? It's because they appreciate the fact that our players aren't giving up. They're still going. They're still giving it all they have. And I think the fans they want to reward the players with doing the same thing, not giving up on your team.
And give credit the coaching staff of the Sudbury Five not giving up either, as they've left the starters out there, and they will probably right to the very end trying to get back into this as we see Jalen Bland coming back into the game. A nice curl there and sent away. Sutherland is sent packing by Yohanni D'Alembert.
What a great block. He's got excellent timing when it comes to being able to get up and get that block too, because he appeared to be 3 feet away from the offensive player there and still managed to reach his arms out and get the block.
That's Yohanni D'Alembert's 4th block on the evening. Out to Sutherland, the shot up, no good, as the shot clock was winding down. Rebound to Devin Gilligan. And Braylon Rayson has to go off a foot of a Titan player. Gets it out to Gilligan, right hand. Just kind of launches up towards the rim and is so good with the finish, right or left hand. Smith. Up top is going to get a screen from Hall. And no good. Travis Relaford coming away with the rebound, gets it out to Gilligan, to Jalen Bland, is hit, and he's gonna head to the free throw line for 3. That one would have been nice.
Smart pass by Gilligan there. Bland did the smart thing too. I thought he might have pump faked that one, but he saw the defender flying at him, so he just went up with it.
Well, yeah, very smart. You see Devin Gilligan, he is a very smart basketball player. He's been taking it to the rim lately because the threes weren't falling earlier for him. And there you see, you got, myself who hasn't hit a couple threes lately, Jalen Bland, who's one of the best shooters on the team, right beside me, give it up to him. And then Gilligan going for the rebound. Bland able to pick up the foul. He misses the first one, so.
Yeah, it's really selfless basketball by Gilligan there. As a player, like you're not worried about getting your own, but it's always in the back of your mind that you got to put up the stats too. These guys are playing for contracts and things like that. So to see him make the right play and get it to the higher percentage shooter, it's great on him.
2 of 3 made for the Sudbury Five. And Ellis gets it to Smith. Smith up top for the KW Titans. Running as much time off the clock as possible. Lob pass down low to Hall. Great position and great eyes from the point guard up top, noticing that Hall is in there. Bland, the 3 goes off the side of the backboard. No good.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough angle to be fronting Hall on. When it's straight on like that, you're not going to get the help defense from behind. So it's something D'Alembert's he's got to learn and realize. You can't front him in that position. You just can't let him get that low on the block.
Hall going back to work on D'Alembert, gets it out to Sutherland with 4 on the clock. Sutherland finds Ellis, who puts it up just in time and gets the roll to fall.
That's been the story of the night for them. Everything has just been falling for them.
Rayson finds D'Alembert, who gets it out to Gilligan. Gilligan around a couple defenders, puts it up and in. It is a 16-point game, 16-point lead, 126-110 for the KW Titans, who led for most of the game. Outside of the beginning of the second quarter, Friesen tees up a three, and he knocks it down.
Are you sure we're not playing Moncton tonight? This seems a bit more like an 11-2 team than a 5-5 team, the way these guys have been playing.
Well, these guys, they've really picked it up. They struggled at the beginning of the season, and with any team in this league, a lot of the teams, you know, they're newer players, newer faces, a lot of changeover. So it takes a couple of games to get familiar with who you're playing with. And we saw, you know, the Sudbury 5 gel really, really quick. And the other teams are starting to pick it up. We saw the London Lightning. They've done a pretty good job coming together. A lot of new faces there. Inside to D'Alembert, the shot left hand, no good. Gilligan, the rebound. He goes up, no foul called. Ceres gets it out to Bland, shot up, and no good as well. That one is gonna go off of the Titans out of bounds, and it's gonna stay with the 5. 1:23 left to go in the game, and both teams have emptied out their bench for the most part. Antoine Chandler out there with George Ceres, Yohani D'Alembert, Devin Gilligan, and Jalen Bland. Nice pass to Ceres in the corner for three, knocks it down.
Great job by Ceres there, knocking down that three. He's trying to do something to get his team motivated a bit here. It's nice as a player too that doesn't play that often. You know, at the end of a game, hitting a big shot like that, a nice three, something you've been struggling with a bit.
Ellis trying to find his man in the paint, can't. Ceres now has it, gets it to Antoine Chandler. Chandler to Bland. Bland making a move. Nice take there is blocked. He's gonna head to the free throw lines. Good to see Bland taking it to the hole there, showing that his ankle is doing a-okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a good sign, and it's I think it favors the idea that he probably will play tomorrow, because otherwise at this point I think the coach would have taken him out and let him rest it a bit longer.
Struggling a little bit at the free throw line. That first quarter they got off to a great start. The Sudbury 5 did. 35 points in that first quarter, and then fell down to 25 in the second quarter, but it was more of what the KW Titans were able to do, going from 22 points in the first quarter to 45 in the second. And that second quarter took the air out of the building in Greater Sudbury, and it completely changed how the teams were playing. That one's gonna go out of bounds and stay with the Titans. And so the Sudbury 5 will take on the London Lightning tomorrow. And it will be interesting to see how they kind of come out. It's an afternoon game, so not a whole lot of time. Lynn knocks it down, hitting the three, as Damon Lynn from Newark, New Jersey, the 23-year-old, leading scorer in his school's history. D1 school, NJIT. In New Jersey, holds the school record for most three-point shots. Played in the G League last season with the Texas Legends, and that's gonna do it here in Greater Sudbury. So last Sunday, the KW Titans won 124-113. It is a 132-114 final here in Sudbury. The Sudbury 5 came into this game leading the league in points per game at 113.7. They just get over that a little bit at 114, but they're also giving up the second most amount of points per game in the league. And that's gonna only increase here tonight, giving up over 130.
Yeah, they had some challenges, and at the same time, we have some players that are injured or on minute restrictions in Bland and Glaze, so we were a bit short-handed tonight, but you really saw it after the starters came out of the game first. Going into the second quarter, it's pretty much where everything was taken away from us, and Horton's shooting had a big part to do with it as well.
And gonna need a nice rebound effort tomorrow. The Lightning come into town. They're gonna be hungry for a win, and see what happened here tonight with the KW Titans and Sudbury 5. So what do you expect from the Sudbury 5 tomorrow?
A lot of the same thing. I'm just like their effort on defense, as I was telling you earlier. I thought it was good tonight. There was a couple slow rotations, but unfortunately, KW they were hitting everything. We were right in their face. But I think if we can come out with that same intensity as we did in the first quarter, I think it's going to bode really well for us.
Well, the Sudbury Five fall here to 8-7 on this season with a 132-114 loss to the KW Titans. Join us tomorrow because we have more Five action. The London Lightning are in town. For Nick Liard, Alex Gunn, and all the people around the scenes, behind the scenes, thank you for watching this edition of Five Basketball. See you tomorrow.